I'd like an executive session for personnel for 15 minutes. Sorry.
I'm going to have 15-minute executive session for doors, personnel.
I'll second it. Move to second, all in favor say aye. We are in executive session.
I was visiting with Tina Krasinski from Stafford the other day, and she was telling me that they're having some equipment that is going, getting to the point where it doesn't work, mainly radios and pagers. And we were able to find radios at the office to send over, if there aren't any pagers that work that aren't there. So I talked to Doug Brown about how much they cost because he can give us pagers. And if we buy 5, it's like $450 plus shipping a piece. So.
Each?
Did they have a, I thought one time he's got to have get a list of where all the pagers is at and who had them.
There's parts and pieces, big box of them. You can ask, when TJ comes up, ask him about them, because he's the one I put on this little task. And he said they're wanting the operational one. So. A lot of them given out to fire. Well, you know, if we buy 5, they would get a couple to Maxville and a couple to Stafford and one in. So I was quizzing him about some of the people that aren't on anymore.
Yeah, but they've just still
If
got
they've turned their stuff in, and he said as far as he knows they have. But some of them that quit EMS are still on fire, so they kept their pagers. Like Dara, Graves, Cooper. She's still got a pager, and she turned in the radio. So, something we just need to think about.
I'd like to talk to TJ Zulu.
Okay, that's fine. Because I would think, because there, like I said, there's a big
See if
box of
you've got
stuff over there. That's what I asked him to do, was find enough to go over there, and he was only able to come up with one radio.
And see if we've got a list of who's all got
I
this.
think so. But you can ask him. I think he's coming.
And
up
see it's his
today.
turn, see if we, yeah, okay. I'll just wait to do that.
Okay.
That's mine.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right.
So I'll get you what you asked for, and
Okay.
I'll see you.
Okay, thanks.
Bye.
Thanks,
We might have it faxed up here.
All right.
Adios.
Glad you got to see me.
See you, Bob.
Morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
I just want to tell you that I'm not here to complain.
Gee.
I have some information, and you guys know enough about me that I've been quite a few years trying to get something going. So I thought I would ask you if you'd like to be briefly updated on our project.
Sure.
So, and then I got something else I'd talk to you about, but primarily that we did our offering document, our PPM, our private placement memorandum. Worked on it for about 3 months after we shut down the seed capital drive. Ready to launch into equity drive and start raising capital. And I think all of us are aware of what happened to the markets and commodities markets. Like for instance, you know, it's been up as high as 70 cents a pound on vegetable oil. Right now it's right around 50. Next week that'll probably change, you know. So it's really, our capital dried up. So several months ago, I got the idea, our board met, and we decided to pursue something that's germane, but not exactly in the same line. We're looking at a crusher. We did a study in 2005 on a crusher, and at that time oil was running 22 cents, so it wasn't profitable, and we just put that on the back burner and proceeded with production plant. But now, you know, as high as 50, 70 cents, it's very lucrative looking situation. So we revisited that study, myself and the consultant brought her up to date. It looks very good. And right now, you know, I hit wheat harvest and all these other farmers are busy. So I put together several PowerPoints, and we're going to try to do a crusher, crush seeds, and produce human grade oil, you know, cooking oil, et cetera.
That cooking oil too, as well as biodiesel you're talking about?
No, we would just do the cooking oil.
Oh,
If the price tanked again, then our strategy is to go back to the biodiesel. But right now, it's very profitable, you know, to mess with vegetable. And realizing, of course, that we can't do this without the farmers. We'd wind up with a pile of iron out here, nothing to put in it. So that's why I spent the last 3 or 4 months just gathering information and putting it together in the form of PowerPoints. And farmers never slack, they don't have anything to do, but it'd be better opportunities. And I'm convinced and passionate enough about this where I'll do it one-on-one if I have to. And I don't know what that magic number is, if it's 100 or 200. We'll do some form of, they've done it over in Missouri, a new generation co-op type thing where they're involved. They will commit so many acres or so many bushels probably, and then buy a membership. So they win by realizing a little profit from the crusher. Transportation's a big issue now. And then also be a little bump. We don't have to deal with a basis, you know, like grain elevators do. So it'd be a little more for the produce too. So I think it's sellable. I think they'll realize it. There's no crusher out here because there's no market.
Okay, you're talking, you'll have the crusher, it's not refined oil, you're crushing and send somewhere else in, is that right?
No.
Or do it all the way through to the bottle here?
Yeah, what it is another asset would be a deodorizer, and then you refine it down for cooking, human grade consumption. Do that right here. The plan is now to do a 1,500 ton a day. That'd take about 17 million bushels. It's about 59% of the output in about a 20 county area, St. John being the hub. So that's where I'm at on that. Unless you have some more questions.
Well, of course, the grain prices, corn, beans, everything have been going down a bit lately.
Yeah, they broke 13 bucks right here. And then crude's come down, which looks like the market's followed crude oil. And I guess that's kind of what, if I could launch into the other thing is, I recently went through that Golden Belt leadership thing for 3.5 months. Amy and I did. And I think it's a heck of a concept. The 4-county area collaborating, thrown together. Gentlemen, I don't know what drives me to do it, but I've been here 14 years, moved to town, and I think I wasn't here too long, noticed that there's a lot of potential here. So recently, I did a little study that shows we, for instance, have had 38 deaths. You know, lost people from St. John community deaths, and I didn't do the other towns. And so we've had an influx of 3 families, which we've had a net loss of 28 people. We all know that this school district, I imagine the others are experiencing the same thing. I think maybe St. John a little more so. We've lost over 100 kids in the last decade, last 10 years, so I think that's a big indicator that we're going this way. So I proposed to, and I realized that I came on you guys unannounced and not talked to you or anything, so what I'd like to do is just plant this idea with you and see if you want to pursue it or not. There's been talk here recently about wind generation. So I've been looking into that, but I think there's some other people are too. But we have this land over here, we got 25 acres next to the tracks, south of the tracks, which we only needed about 3 to build a spur. So we have that really surplus land over there. It'd be an excellent place. It's right adjacent to that big 34,500 volt power line, feeds the power plant. So if the city decides they want to do that,
You're talking, working with the city, not putting on the other lines in.
Yeah, that, you know, they're mandated if we have more than we need, they gotta buy it, so. I think what would happen, without going further into it, we would produce enough for the city easily. And I think they're going out of the area to do some checking and research. I got a brochure here on a fellow from Great Bend, that Dr. Brantley.
Yeah, I've been to one of his meetings.
Yeah, he's, you know, they're reconditioning 175 grand a pop, 5 of them run this town easily. And, you know, we'd sure work with them on that. So that's just one thing. The thing that I noticed that really opened my eyes and caught my attention was that out of the 105 counties, and I don't mean this in any pejorative way, but we're one of the few that don't have any economic development people, you know, or department. And I think there's potential here. For instance, just right off the top of your head, if you think we have Radiant Community, Hudson Community, Stafford, and now St. John looks like they're gonna have an empty building over here. The Methodist Church is kind of idle. But I think you could attract somebody, not another Boeing or something, but somebody, you know, 12-man manufacturing, makes widgets, you know. You take, I was thinking about looking into, say, California, let's use that for an example, and see what kind of manufacturing association they got. I think that they could be convinced that 1 month of their rent would probably buy a building here.
Oh, yeah,
in the Midwest.
I've read some articles of people around different communities.
Yeah. So that's just one avenue we, you know, I think we can pursue. I go back to the old adage, things don't just happen, you gotta make them happen. So, and it starts out with brainstorming ideas. So I'm wearing 2 hats this morning. I'm on the board for the biodiesel project, you know that, and I'm president of that new community improvement program. So I have.
Could you get some type of industrial development committee together then? We've had some committees and then they've just kind of.
Yeah. Well, it's real difficult to get cooperation. JD, you know this better than anybody. I've put a lot of effort into it, and I think I've come down to the fact that it needs some leadership. And somebody, it probably has to be government, city governments and county governments to take the bull by the horns and run with it. For instance, I thought about this morning while I was eating breakfast, I thought, maybe a good idea if once a quarter or whatever time you guys could contribute to it, meet with a different town every once in a while. Or if we have to, all of them have a big meeting, all the city councils and county commissioners, and get something moving in the county. That's just an idea I'd throw out there. I guess another thing that kind of paramount in my mind, I'm thinking right now, a lot of us, probably including the county, I don't know, I didn't look into it, but we're probably enjoying good tax base with the oil situation where it's at, but that's not long term, I don't think. So I was hoping that we could get some. Now, I have spoken to a couple people, and if you guys would ever decide, they show some interest about, you know, being an economic director. I remember April and I came up here quite some time back and talked to y'all. I think it was before Clayton got elected. And you said something about doing a mill levy.
We did. We did sure too. Yeah, we put a mill in our board. So.
So maybe there's.
So we've got the money available, just getting something off the ground and getting started. So it's fun that we've been. But the thing is, before we've had the money there, and nothing's ever happened, you know, and so.
And I agree, Judy, that's frustrating.
Yeah.
You know, I know just as well as you guys do, that is frustrating. I just, I guess to be honest and right up front about it, this is my last shot. If I can do it this time, I'm just going to retire to my shop. You come over and visit me in the shop, I'll be there a lot.
But we got this, one thing's coming in, and it says scenic byway, and not only that, and I think it can, it's not only a Kansas national scenic byway too, and you'd be surprised looking at on these meetings, some of the numbers of people go to these, go through these things, and we got stuff in our backyard that we don't even appreciate, you know. And the way they've got it drawn up now, it actually ends out here at the corner of 4th Street and 281. But we're working on getting it to have it, you know, not just say end out there, but have it start there and have the route go the other way. So people pull off the highway, off the 50 highway, and it can go there and go that scenic byway. They're going north up the interstate and stuff. And we're gonna have signage in town here, and where they can stop in town to pick up the information. Have something out there and let them know where they can get their information, if they can stop in here or whatever, and it may draw a few people into the, you know, into the town. And same with those that Stafford's played the same way, he's got the same thing, have a place for them to start over there and have information over there.
I noticed that, you know, they got a sign there, I think it's a terrific idea, gateway to Career. Well, we're also gateway,
Absolutely.
all these towns in the county, whatever direction you're coming from, you need to go through and get there. And I often wondered why they ended that sign there too. But we need to capitalize on that.
Absolutely, and we were, at last meeting, we talked to some people and trying to work, get some signage from this end too, and get some more signage out here. People know they can pull off here and go on, you know.
My plan, I got a call from the Kansas Department of Commerce the other day. It was weird, it was last week, I don't remember if it was Wednesday or Thursday, and she told me there's a 5 o'clock deadline. I thought, how convenient, they call me about 5 hours before the deadline about this Kansas tourist guide, you know, that book they put out. So I went ahead without permission from my board and just made a command decision. I bought an ad for Quivira and for the Science Museum, because I wasn't sure, but I didn't have any time to really think about it. You know, they put me under pressure, but I wanted to get in there. Now, here's an idea we're working on, just for an example of one thing. Ron Culver is, the guy's phenomenal with it. He's signing, he's just a modern day Jim Hood, you know. He's come up with this whispering gallery that you read about in the paper. So we're looking for a location to put that, and then a kiosk there to tell about it. And then what my plan is, we'll get our organization to get into this geocaching. I don't know if you're familiar with that. You are? Mm-hmm. I know Stafford's in it. And one of the things that I noticed when folks go back home and they write a little blog, you know, on that, one of the things that catches a lot of attention is the Curtis Cafe. And they, almost to the person, and say, they've got a cafe in Stafford that has puzzles all over the walls and ceiling. And so you need a little drawing thing, and that's why I was thinking about here, that whispering gallery, you know, and then from there, we want.
Different things around the community, or different around the county that we can.
Yeah, like, I guess it brought it to my attention when we went through that 3.5 month program thing. I got personally, and there's 20 of us in it, and there's only, Amy and I, there's only 2 from our county, so the other 20 were made up of the other 3 counties. But what I noticed was, what's going on in the other counties? Like, one of them that really impressed me was La Crosse, Rush County. So Bill Ballman got that fiberglass tank business up there. He's a good, close friend of mine. I said, Bill, how do you guys get all this going? They have a furniture factory. They got a flame manufacturing. And he told me that, Steve, things don't just happen. You gotta make them happen. And so that's, I guess, my thesis is that's what I'm thinking right now. So I don't want to take up any more of your time, but if you guys are interested in pursuing that, I'd be glad to volunteer my help.
Well, I think you're right. We do need to develop an economic core, or whatever you want to call it, the county and the cities, you know, because if you don't make any noise, no one's going to listen. And I think we've been very quiet. You know, we're keeping all these secrets to ourselves, and you know, we need to get it out and make some noise that You know, we're here at a major intersection of 2 US highways, you know, there's a lot of people that drive by and, oh, that's nice, and keep on going, so.
I agree. I guess one of the disappointing things is the other night, one of the councilmen brought up the city meeting about economic development just before the meeting ended. And it got quiet and it adjourned, you know, so it fell on deaf ears. But that's what prompted me to come here and talk to you gentlemen. And I think, you know, you're the senior government, and I think if you showed some interest, I think maybe that would give them a little bump, so to speak, to try and get
Well, I
involved.
think we're all interested up here, but just trying to get something put together that's gonna be
You can't do
stable.
it yourself.
It just died, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
we get
I've
the
been on
money up there and
committees
then it
myself.
dies.
Yeah, I remember it. Well, that's the thing, we need someone to
It's
take
gotta
off
be,
with.
it needs to be a countywide thing, not a citywide thing.
Right.
And where everyone pull together and work for each other, and not have their individual goals.
I go to a lot of meetings, of course, and conferences. For instance, that RC&D up there, great venue, the Rice County people, and that, it's just amazing to watch whoever their director is, how they're really busy, and you get out and shake the trees. Well, I'm gonna start a program of decompression here, I'm headed for Hutch. See if I can get my back straightened out.
See, you were walking around the game pretty fragile there this morning.
Well, if I've babbled on because of
No,
that,
wait, that's fine.
Yeah.
Go up anytime you like,
It's,
appreciate any input.
I'm dull in pain with pain.
You get hopes of what I say, huh?
Yeah, it's a new deal. I went to see this chiropractor. He's gonna do this decompression business, stretching you apart, smashing that little sac between the discs. Well, I feel like I took a bullet in the butt off.
Okay, well, thanks,
Thanks
Steve.
a lot, gentlemen.
We appreciate it, thank you.
Got somebody out here that's
I'll see some-
Don't take a check from this guy.
okay.
No, because he'll probably want it.
Yeah, right.
He really helped me out, didn't he?
Yeah, need that kind of help around there.
Well, first of all, KDOT's having a meeting, an informational meeting. I think you got more than one there, JD. No,
That's yours, that's your deal.
on their new bridge inspections that are coming out, it's gonna be held, and I don't know exactly what they're doing, so that's just a little bit of information. But the meeting for around here is gonna be at the Hutchinson Library on the 27th of August, 10 to 12. So, we're down there. Let's see what they're proposing to change now. I don't think we're gonna have any problem with all our bridge is gonna be in good shape.
Oh, yeah, just have it inspected here.
Yeah, and it's gonna
Yeah,
be
not going inspection over.
Yeah, then our inspection will be due again next year.
Yeah. Said ours is, thank goodness, been in pretty good shape, I think, most of our bridges.
Yeah, we don't have anything under 10 ton right now, which is real good, so we're fortunate.
Okay.
Other than that, I found or Dave West found the truck. We had scheduled to replace one dump truck this year, and the truck we're getting rid of is I'd like to get rid of, I guess I should rephrase that, is a 1989. It doesn't have any computer stuff on it or.
Is that good or bad?
Well, I don't know, because it gets, out of the 5 dump trucks, it gets the worst fuel mileage out of all of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah. All the rest of them were under 6 1/4 to 6.5 per gallon, and this thing's running about between 5.5 and 5 3/4. And you know as well as I do, a dump truck gets wear on it, just That's probably about the hardest thing to put a truck through. But anyway, he found, there's a truck down in Pratt that Davis found, and it's a good looking truck. It has 226,000 miles on it. The rubber's real good.
Is it Sterling, the brand?
Yeah. Well, Sterling was what a Ford used to be.
Oh, okay.
Ford is no more in big line trucks. They're now Sterling. And this truck, well, the truck we're replacing, the truck that I would like to replace has a spreader in it, so I'd like to have, we're gonna have to switch the spreader over and the snowplow and all this other stuff. But the only reason I like to do it now is because try to have it done by the 1st of October, and that way we go much further in timeline now. We're gonna start crowding into where we'll get inclement weather, and we'd be down to 3 spreaders. Which I think is
You got
happening
this in your
before.
budget for this one then?
Have an equipment fund, we can take it out of the equipment fund, yes. And the trouble is, you get a quote on anything right now. Well, the truck's not so bad, but like the dump body, it's about 10 days is all it's good for because the price of steel.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no doubt.
If he's got the money,
He goes through these trucks and stuff too, doesn't he?
Dave, yeah, we've had real good.
You've been getting quite a few years from him.
Yes, we have. In fact, all 5 of them we got down there now, the ones that he's built up. They'll take and stretch the frame on, double frame,
Yeah.
move the snowplow hitch over and move the,
Well, it would probably be about $150,000.
it might not be far from it by the time you spec it all.
You don't think that?
I don't know that we could ever afford to put new.
We're not looking at new ones. Run the
Well,
old-
I mean.
We'll run the old one though.
Yeah.
Oh, you get pretty good service out of them, like I said, and,
We put 180,000 miles on this truck, and we're starting to put a few more miles on than what we used to. I mean, this, being Zed's oldest truck, sometimes when we're just running 2 or 3 trucks, it doesn't get used so much.
I think we better just go ahead and let Phil look at this and get it started. He's got the money in the machinery fund.
well, if you don't keep replacing them all the time, you all go bad at once unless anything else. You get everything goes off one year and you can't afford to buy it 1 year, then, no.
Comes with close to my, he come up here, it seems like all I ever do is
I
come up
prefer
here.
to buy something, yeah.
I'll second that motion that Lee made.
That was a motion.
Yes, make a motion.
Move and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Then right now, well, seems the weather's crummy today.
Are you sealing or what?
We've got 3 miles of asphalt left to lay on South Stafford Road. We'll be done with it, and we're gonna move over on South Zenith. But
What are you doing down South Stafford? You just tearing it, clear out the blade and working on that?
well, early this spring, we went down there and dug a lot of bad places out there. It's got a lot of level bad places on the side. We cut them out, dug them back over to it, or 1.5-inch base rock, and patched over the top of it. And now we're overlaying the top of it. So we got 3 miles left to do on it, and then we got South Zenith to work on it. Of course, we don't, I mean, there's not near the rush, being as we're not gonna seal. So, but being as the weather's bad right now, we're cleaning up some visibility on some townships, stop signs where some of you couldn't see when you're coming up to it.
Mm-hmm.
So we're doing that. We're doing a little bit of patching. We
Did you
started-
burn that fresh tile that tightens there? Is that-
No, that was not us.
Dennis did.
I must have had one going, I looked at Stafford the other day, and I thought, man, something got away from somebody.
Yeah, I don't know who it got away from, because I went around there and I was like, you know, what in the world happened here?
Wow, the county burned out, they got a little wild out there.
He was burning a weed patch and it set the cottonwood tree on fire, and the cottonwood tree fell over into the triangle there.
Oh, okay. I see that.
So I suppose at some point, we're gonna have to
No.
take out them other 2 or 3 trees standing up there on that curve. Started a 3rd round of mowing, which, well, what have you been, wet?
Oh, man, I tell you what, this stuff's grown like crazy.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Okay, thank you.
All right,
All right.
thanks, Phil.
You guys don't have anything?
Explain.
Okay. Thank you.
Bet. Okay, we gotta get this, 911 resolution here. It's 2008 resolution 911.
2008-2 in regards to the 911 call, what is it?
It's the line charge for
Line
nine.
charge.
911.
75 cents.
Second that motion.
Moved to second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Anything else you have? Anybody else have anything else right now? We'll recess.
Have a good day.
Good day, how about you guys?
All right.
Last time I told you about the Maxfield truck, it's in dire need of replacement. And this here is what I had come up with. A guy in southeast Kansas has that truck. It's actually in service in their department right now. It's a 1981 model that they rebuilt completely in 1995. And then they refurbished it for use as a wildland truck in 2003. It had 800 gallons of water on it, 60 gallon foam cell on it. It's got a remote control water nozzle on the front of it, so basically one person can operate the truck if need be. It's got a Detroit motor in it, 4-wheel drive. He says that it's real simple for one person or however many people to operate. And it'll run up to highway speeds. It's got new on it. And he said the original price that they're asking was $30, but he's willing to give us $10 for trading on a Maxfield truck. So approximately 10 for trading on a Maxfield truck. So
This dealer's got then, you're saying?
yeah, it's his department over at Bartlett is actually using that truck right now. And he told me that there's like 7 of them in use in the state of Kansas right now, and he said people are loving them. So they're real, and like I said, they carry a real mobile, a pretty good water supply, and they work great for grass fires, or they used them for structure fires as well. So, but the other option was that Harold come up with is to purchase I don't know whether to purchase or try to get another military 6x through the state, and then that same guy said that he could build it up with a pump package and everything else, and he's quoting us a price of approximately $12,700 to build it. That's paint, new tank, pump, everything from the ground up for one of those military trucks. And I don't know how long it would take him to do that, though. He didn't really specify on the time frame on that, but
How quick this will be available?
this one would be available, I think, almost immediately, the way I
So
understand it.
what are you doing over Maxwell? What do you got over this?
They have a 2-ton Chevy over there that Harold just got it out of the shop, or he just took it out of his shop, and it's got problems with the pump on it. The truck itself has got severe problems, I guess, as far as like the motor and some of the transmission and stuff. They're limping it along right now, trying to keep it going. And so basically that's what we're looking for, is to try to replace that truck right now. they do have another, they've got a military 6x over there, so they're not like short a truck right now. But they, like I say, they're just needing a replacement for that other one.
But they do have something. They're not without.
Yeah, they're not without problem right now. So, but, that was just, that was an option that we, and then the other option was to try to get another 6x over there to replace it.
Right now that they.
Right, they do. 6x's are trucks right now. No, that's not they're slow and they time to repair stuff, just trying to track down.
That's my question, if you say it's not that bad a shape, you don't really need it, do we need to buy one right now?
Well, I guess I mean, it's not that they're without fire protection, but they've been running like 3 trucks over there for wildland. So, I mean, we could probably get by for a while. I mean, if we wanted to hold off on it for a little while yet. But bear in mind that, I mean, we're gonna have to replace it sooner than later, so.
Have you got the money in your bid budget for this?
We actually have, that's basically what the reserve fund was for like emergency, like we have a truck go down or whatever, emergency. That if we were to do it, that's what we would use it for. And it'd come out of that side and we'd have no. So.
No, this one you said you have the picture of was 30,000?
Yes, and that's.
With the 10,000.
That's problems, right there.
That's with the trade-in or?
No, with the $10,000 trade-in.
Be $20,000.
So it would be
Yeah, that would be about
20,000 would be what we.
Right.
20,000 is what would be put in.
That's what I'm understanding,
Okay.
so.
And the other one is,
Yeah,
a military truck that has to be,
we'd have to locate a truck, and then take it down there to them, and then they would build it all up and fix it up.
It's just them fixing the truck.
But like, if we were able to get a truck through the Forest Service, so.
It's not
Right.
the truck.
The thing that he had was the radium truck that we have, it's a 4-wheel drive. I think the tank went out on, then it doesn't cost us anything. The tank was leaking, the pump went out. And then the other, whatever, but anyway, the truck, the cabin chassis is still in good condition. And Harold checked with that guy down there and talked to him about refurbishing the truck, putting a new tank on it, new pump, the whole works, getting everything up and going. And he quoted us a price of $6,500 for that. But that is without the cost of a new pump, because the new pump, depending on what we get, would be an extra cost. We do have a pump that came off of one of our 1-ton trucks. We think that it might still be usable. When we took it off, I don't know if it was locked up or what, but it wouldn't start. And Harold thought that he could take it and possibly try to get it running, or at least tear it down and see what the problem is with it. And if it's fixable, then we could use it instead of buying a new pump. So, just some options that we're kind of looking at and see what we can do.
You don't need to answer today then, just.
Just remember. Yeah, I mean, it's the radium truck, you know,
I
it's,
thought they were gonna do some swapping of tanks.
well, yeah, that's initially what we were gonna try to do. But if we can get a new tank and everything fixed up on this truck for, you know, that amount of money, that's not bad. That's pretty cheap compared to trying to find another truck. So, and it was the deal with the truck that we had out here, sitting outside and stuff. I talked to Phil, we've got it in the round top down there right now.
Oh, okay.
So, kind of an inconvenience, but, you know, we'll do what we can for now, so. But, anyway. So, that's kind of where we're sitting at with that stuff, and like I say, it's not a dire emergency right now, but it's, come springtime, you know, when we get really busy, it could be, so.
So you have to find a truck from the Forestry Service before you spend the $12,700
Right.
to outfit. Okay.
And that's the problem with those forestry trucks too, is you never know what you're gonna get.
You could be
They-
more out the same as
Yeah,
you got.
they pull them out of their yard, and if they need tires, they'll put tires on them, get them running, and there you
Get on
go.
your
As
own.
long as it's running, they don't care. So that's what's a problem with those a lot of times. There is an outfit in Tennessee that you can buy these military trucks from, but then again, I mean,
You don't get here.
who knows what they've been through or how they've been treated, so. But, I don't, it's not an easy process, I know that. It's tough trying to find a good truck that's gonna last, so.
Yeah, they get pretty hard to use.
Oh, yeah. So, but that's all I've got. Just wondering about you guys.
You found the inventory of pagers and stuff?
Yeah, I've gotten all the pagers taken care of for Maxville. They're back up where they needed to be.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I gotta try to get a hold of some pagers. Stafford, Stafford EMS said that they were needing some pagers, so I'm working on that.
But you have an inventory, of every one of those pages, who they're checked out to and who's responsible for them.
Yes, there's a inventory on file out there. So,
And are all these people still currently on fire department then?
to my knowledge, they are.
Okay.
I haven't seen anybody that's gone that is on that list yet.
But make sure to get the pager back if they're not.
Right, exactly, yeah. So, probably try to go through that periodically and make sure.
Make sure
we're
it's up to
still there.
date, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, anybody else have any other questions?
That's the only thing I had was about the pagers
Pager
and
department.
radios. Yeah.
Radios,
Yeah, and we still have some spare radios out there too, so.
yeah, spare radios.
But you did get Maxwell back.
Yeah, I've
Troy
been
was
working
telling
with,
me
yeah,
about
Troy and Rob, and I talked to them, and I think they're back up in shape where they need to be. We had just enough to cover them, so,
So we got a price of $450 each on pagers.
yeah, they're not cheap.
Yeah, that's why I want to make sure we got an inventory, who's got them, make sure they turn them in and they,
Yeah,
it's back in our,
they're not
back
cheap,
into our inventory.
because that's what we like to do, is have at least a few extra on hand in case something happens to one, but.
Do they need to purchase 5? What 5, what Doris says?
Yeah, that's what they said they were needing over there, so I'm like,
You don't have 5 in your box?
well, we've got a whole bunch of old pagers, and I need to get a hold of Motorola or somebody and find out what we can do with those, because I know I've seen articles and stuff where they can take and refurbish them and still use them, but I don't know if we get anything for that, if we can do a trade-in with them, or, I don't know how that works.
Probably hold off on that till you find out from them, if we can get these others, and maybe you can refurbish them. And give
Yeah.
us
Yeah.
$450 a plaque, it's,
Yeah, they're not cheap.
that's fine. Yeah, they're not cheap.
So, but, yes, maybe someday they can get, communications and stuff better, to where we can go with something a little cheaper.
Yeah, if you check on that.
Okay, we'll
Okay. All right,
All right.
thank you very much. I guess we'll recess. Session to discuss non-elected personnel.
I make a motion, we go into executive session for 10 minutes to discuss non-elected personnel.
Just like, move the second on the food.
Aye.
We're in executive session 10.
I talked to Carl about this postal pre-sort company, and he really didn't know anything about them, but he seen on that list, like you guys did, that a lot of appraisers have used them. But I'd like to try to use them. Maybe I haven't made up my mind for sure, but I'm gonna have 2 new people in my office, and training 2 new people will be a chore in itself during that time. We'll be busy with that. We go through those tax statements about 5 times before we get them mailed out. And you know, this company will have the capability to sort everything electronically before they even print it. So then all they have to do is print it.
I guess my concern is how come so many other counties aren't using it?
That's what I can't see.
I mean, there's only 1 or 2 around here. I see the appraisers, but I don't see very many counties using it. Even though they've been in business for a while.
Treasurers are just getting onto it. The appraisers have been using them in the past, and it's just kind of a new thing coming in, so. But I talked to 4 different treasurers that used them last year, and they were very satisfied. They said they downloaded the files to them and told them what day they wanted them mailed, and they had them mailed out, and they didn't have
So
any
this
problems.
was postage and everything included in this figure. How much postage do you spend in usually?
Last year we used $2,800 or $2,600 in postage, and they're projecting about $2,800. So the postage is about the same.
But their projection, but actually, do we just pay what the projection or actual cost?
We have to pay what they think the postage will be up front, and then any additional charges they will bill us for later.
Well, I'm saying if we don't use the postage, they refund that back to us?
Yes, yes,
So it's actual postage?
yes, yeah, it is. Mhm. Yeah.
Well, maybe if we go with this, we don't need the 2 new people.
Yeah. How many people can you got go in your office?
Well, now, when we're doing tax statements, I'm pulling Lisa off of daily work. We get about a month behind on work. You know, when we start doing tax statements in November, we don't get caught up with our daily work till like February or March. I think Nita could verify that, because we get way behind on our daily work. And that's because I'm pulling girls off the front and I'm pulling Lisa off of daily work, where we can just sit there and do that. So it's keeping the girls where they need to be. We have lots of phone calls. Last year, there were even times we couldn't even answer the phone because I had to keep people, right, doing tax statements. And so we just let the answering machine pick up the phone. So we're pulling people off of being able to answer the phone and to answer questions for the public. So it isn't that it's not going to replace anything. It's going to keep us better organized, where we can keep up with our daily work and keep up with the tasks that we've been doing.
So I guess I look at your savings in there. You're saying the postage is, that's a set figure then, right? That they've got in there. That's $2,800, right? And what about the cost of the stationery, or is that included in that figure?
Yeah,
and
that's
what would that
another
cost
thing.
us on the other end?
That's another thing. If I was printing my own statements and everything, if I print a whole bunch of tax statements in air, and I've done it before, that's why I always buy a whole bunch of extra tax statements. I gotta start all over with my printing. So, you know, that's even more precise. It's just gonna take a lot of the error work out. And, you know, I may not like using them, I don't know, but I'd like to give them a
I
try.
thought, said if you got a program, they're picking up information off of your sending, right? And download it and run these off. I guess it's gonna be kind of mechanical what they're gonna be doing here, as far as what
They do it all by, sort it all by computer.
computer says all mechanical and so there's not a lot of human labor involved, it's all basically just gonna be
Right.
automated, is what you're saying, right?
Pardon?
It'll all be pretty well automated, this
Yes,
system.
yes. Yeah, right now I print my real estate tax statements, and I print my personal property tax statements, because they're on two different forms. They will be able to print both of those together. You know, because once I get my two piles in, I go and put them together.
Right.
And then I go through and we sort them by address. And then we go through and fold them.
Right.
Then we go through and insert them. And if there's the levy sheet, we insert that also. And then we put the return envelope in there. And then if I have mortgages, I gotta go through and pull all the mortgages out. And then I have to pull the homestead out. So you're actually handling all of that about 4 or 5 times, going through the files.
But I wonder how much more equipment they have to do this than what we've got, what you got in your office.
They got pretty impressive equipment. So,
I mean, they've got more equipment that they got folders and everything else of all that.
right, right. That's what they're set up to do, you know. That's- And then I also like the idea of being able to put our addresses through the NCOA file before we even send them, so we can get all of our address changes before we mail them out. And that'll cut down on a lot of return mail.
So is this a yearly contract, or they want a commitment for?
No, just for
A year at a
the,
time, just try it.
yeah. And I could have him come down and talk to you guys if you'd like to visit with him. He said he'd be more than happy. That's what the tax statement is.
So this is gonna cost us an additional how much?
It's gonna save us about $1,100. It's nothing additional. And basically is what we're swapping out is our time and wages.
We're still paying the time and wait.
Yeah, but we're not gonna get behind on our work, our daily work. Don Keenan usually comes in and helps me in his office, and Marilyn usually helps me. Anybody that's available to help, they usually help,
Try to get that.
yeah. You guys can come help if you like.
And it's not just you just sign for a year. That's, I guess I'm kind of concerned about their accuracy and
Right,
putting stuff in.
I-
the
you
right
know, I
place.
am
You don't have
too,
that
right.
important, they can get statements going to the wrong people and they're not gonna be very happy.
yeah. Yeah, and, I mean, I think they'll be more accurate than us. We always get somebody else's tax statement in the wrong envelope. It's just human error is gonna happen. And I always get calls when they're not happy.
I get Marion Tompkins most of the time.
Uh-huh.
I think it sticks to me.
And when you're sitting there going so fast trying to sort it yourself, and usually people are real nice about sending it back, But is where the problem is people that don't open their mail till they come in to pay it on the 20th. And then they have somebody else's tax statement in their envelope. Not saying that they wouldn't do it too, but I think they would be more accurate than us going through.
How quick do you need to know about this?
Pardon?
How quick do you need to know that?
Oh, probably within the next week or two, because if I don't do it, I need to go ahead and order my tax statements and my envelopes.
You said they'd come up here too if we wanted to talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have some type of guarantee about their accuracy? That's what concerns me, one of the issues concerns me is, we got something, somebody else's hands doesn't know
I don't like this.
what's options from the other, you know? That's kind of my concern about it.
Well, I don't know.
That's some things you need to find out.
I'm pretty sure they'll be more accurate than us.
You've talked to some other, and they're having problems with accuracy or anything?
I talked with 4 other treasurers, and they had no complaints. They said it went perfect. And it was the first time that they used him last year. So they said it went very simple, and they got their file ready, they downloaded it to them, told them what day they wanted it mailed, and they had it mailed out that day, so.
You wanna talk to the guy?
How do you feel?
I don't know.
I have plenty of money in my budget as far as that goes to, you know, so that's not a problem there.
But it's gonna save us $1,100.
Yeah. And I'm figuring very conservative on that. Because I put in an extra $800 of miscellaneous unexpected expenses that maybe I couldn't even think of.
Well, we could try them for a year, and then make a decision from that point on, or you wanna talk to the guy
Yeah,
first?
Let's do it. It's not
I'd be more than happy to call him and
I think we need to find out for some kind of a accuracy guarantee or something.
yeah, I can find that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
But that's just an issue.
Let's do that.
Yeah, why don't do that, see what you're,
Have him come down then? Is that what you
Either that
mean?
or some kind of accuracy guarantee.
Okay,
Send us a letter.
send you a letter?
That'd
That'd be
fine.
good enough?
that'd be
Okay.
fine, yeah.
All right, I'll get in touch with him and see what he says.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you guys.
Thank you. You need to leave.
What's,
Doris, come up here.
We need another executive session for about 10 minutes for personnel.
I make the motion, we go into executive session to discuss non-personnel for 10 minutes.
second?
Move to second.